EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for January 14th, 2019. For your Monday, the system that brought some light snow over our southern regions over the weekend is now moving away, and we are in the wake of the system. We are mostly sunny today, but temperatures will be near average today and tonight. Clear skies tonight. Not a lot of wind to deal with today, and actually for the next couple of days, we're not dealing with much in the way of wind in the wind department. But this is going to be a very busy week this week, and potentially very snowy. We alluded to this in yesterday's Weather Weeklies videos, or at least I did, because I do those every week. There's a couple systems we're going to be watching this week. The first is going to be Thursday night. The next one is going to be the weekend, and of course, everybody is already getting the hype for the weekend. Just hold your horses a little bit. I know the models are showing some very aggressive solutions. I'm going to show you some of these here in the video, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to work out exactly as it's drawn up right now. Today is only Monday, and we have to go all the way until the weekend. Now, it's 5-6 days. A lot of things can change in that time frame, especially when you're talking about a system that's nearing the coastline and you're relying on some thermal gradients and baroclinic boundaries to produce some heavy snow. So still has the opportunity to bring some rain to parts of the area, and also has an opportunity to miss. So we're going to get into that in this video. But first, here's today. Here's mostly sunny skies today. Mostly clear tonight as high pressure builds in, and then we are mostly sunny again on Tuesday. But Tuesday's going to warm up a little bit. Not warm, but it's going to be a couple degrees warmer than average. And we'll get up in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees for highs on Tuesday. And that's going to be ahead of this front. It's hard to see here, but there is a frontal boundary in association with this area low pressure moving through southeastern Canada. And this frontal boundary will move in later on Wednesday with little fanfare. You might have a little bit of an increase in clouds from it, but we're not expecting any precipitation. Here's the front. You can see it just falls apart as it moves eastward. This is just going to bring in lower temperatures a little bit lower behind this frontal boundary for Thursday. But Wednesday, just maybe an increase in clouds late in the day. Temperatures are going to be mild ahead of the front, so temperatures are going to be 40, 42-ish for highs on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, when we get behind this front, it's going to drop back down. Now, we have the first of two systems that are going to come through the area. Looks like Thursday night into Friday morning. Here's the first one. Not really a strong wave, and it's moving pretty fast here. This is still part of that split flow pattern, so there's not a lot of upside potential with this one. So it looks like this could be still something that could produce a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch swath of snow, probably north of this line like this. So I'm cutting the south and eastern areas out of this just because it's going to be a little bit too mild here. Temperatures will not be supportive of snow down in these areas, but these areas it will. So the areas that missed out pretty much for the last system over the weekend will make up for it this weekend, or on Thursday night into Friday morning with some snow, and that is going to come in on Thursday evening, it looks like, and produce snow into the late night, if not early Friday morning before that pulls away. GFS is very similar this evening that came in. This is the new 0Z GFS. You can see how this is evolving. The blue, of course, is snow. Anything in green is rain. And as this is moving eastward, this is looking at Thursday evening, early evening, and then here is the overnight period where you have the snow up in those areas I explained. So there's going to be, again, north of this line, 32-degree lines running right through here. So anything north of there is snow, kind of the opposite of what we had this weekend. Anything down here is light rain, cold light rain, but cold, rain nevertheless. And then that moves out of here either late night or very early Friday morning, and then clouds will give way to sun later on Friday. So that's the deal with the first system. The potential for that, again, 1 to 3, 2 to 4-ish type areas north of that line I drew, and that's what the GFS is showing. Now the next system, a lot of what this does here, believe it or not, is going to dictate what the second one does. We're still in a split flow at the time this comes in. So we're going to have to rely on some heights being lowered here in the wake of this system as this moves out. And I think that's what this will do. The more robust that this system is moving through here, if this ends up being just like a coating to an inch and that's it, it's not going to do anything to lower heights ahead of the next system. You have an opportunity to see a warmer system with that. So as long as this stays a little bit robust and it's modeled to do so, and it still is, we have the opportunity for the second system to produce a lot more in the way of the wintry department. So let's go through this. Here is Friday. Again, it's going to be turning partly cloudy later on Friday. And then we start off that way here on Saturday. Then we're going to have an increase in clouds. Here's that system off to the west. Just increasing clouds on Saturday. I don't think the precipitation gets in here until late in the day or during the evening. But this is the most robust solution I have right now. And looks like it's good. This is all snow, anything north of this line here. So this is a tremendous amount of snow that's going to fall if this is correct. All right, so this has that potential. It also has the potential to just keep going out here like this and just barely grazing south and eastern areas, and that's it. It also has the potential, instead of coming and hitting us like this, it might cut a little bit too far inland like this, and you have a wintry mess right here, and up here you have the snow in the interior. So that's all on the table. This is still a day 5, day 6 storm, and a lot of things can change with this. But this particular model decides to highlight where the baroclinic boundary is and that thermal gradient. Anywhere along that thermal gradient, which is where the incoming polar vortex is coming. This is the pattern changing storm. This is the one I talked about in the video. This is January 20th. This is the pattern change date. Okay, so if you have a storm that's riding that boundary, the thermal gradient from the warm ocean water coming from this direction and the very, very cold air coming in behind this creates a thermal gradient in between, and you get very rapidly rising air and some tremendous precipitation. So that's why you're seeing this. And if this is falling in the form of snow, you could be talking about easily over a foot of snow, easily, maybe more than that. And actually in this model, it is more than that. It's actually close to 2 feet. This is not me saying that we're going to get 2 feet of snow. So again, it's very, very track dependent, but this is the upside potential of this system, and it doesn't need to be a very, very strong system in order to do that. That thermal gradient is what will produce, and again, slight shifts northwest, southeast, which are expected over the next couple of days, will make a difference in what happens with this system. And this goes right into Sunday, so this is a Saturday night and Sunday deal with this system, and it goes all day Sunday and then wraps up Sunday evening. On the GFS now, this is the latest GFS it ran. Very similar idea. Okay, not quite as amped. Comes in late afternoon on Saturday or Saturday evening, and then it continues in the overnight. You get some moderate to heavy snow overnight. Again, this is not a very large or strong system, and it doesn't need to be. But that thermal gradient, it's created between by the same thing, that cold polar vortex air coming in here. This pattern change air that's coming behind it, running up against that thermal gradient in between, or the baroclinic boundary that's in between creates that thermal gradient. You get some heavy snow right here in the middle. All right, so wherever that sets up is going to dictate who gets what, and I do think somebody is getting something that's going to be substantial across our region from this storm. It's just a matter of where, and we have to narrow that down throughout the week. So here's a look at Sunday, and this is Sunday afternoon now. Sunday evening it wraps up and pulls away. This particular model, the GFS, is highlighting a very large area of 1 foot or 14 inches or 16 inches, something like that. Maybe like a 12 to 16 swath, or a 10 to 16 swath, I should say, would probably be a better estimate, because it's this is also a lower resolution model. It might not be picking up that thermal gradient that this model is doing. Okay, so if you have a thermal gradient in between, there's going to be some heavy snow and very high snow rates in between. But there could also be on the southeastern fringe of that, wherever you have you're closest to that thermal gradient, and it's not cold enough to support snow, you could have some severe icing. So a lot of different solutions with this, a lot of different possibilities. This is not something I want you to get carried away with just yet. We're going to be talking about it in the premium forum this week. If you're not signed up with that yet, now is definitely the time to do it. So we're going to have a parade of storms coming in, not just this week, but this is going way beyond here. At the end of the month, we actually have some pretty good blocking coming into the place, so that's going to be even better, where we can slow these systems down and really amplify them. And I'm talking about systems beyond this one. This is the pattern changing storm. That whole week after, it's busy. February, it's busy. Okay, so if you want to get involved in that and get into the advanced discussion, we're not doing that other than the videos every day. We're not going to get into any kind of advanced analysis or model analysis and give our thoughts publicly until something is imminent with the that's going to need a snow map at the end of the week. But until then, you can join that discussion on the My Pocket Meteorologist page, and that is right next to this video on our homepage, where you can reach that information and get signed up for both text alerts and the premium forum. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marters. That is your outlook for January 14th, 2019. Have a great Monday.